A dynamic hello and a warm welcome. Today I want to talk about overcoming life patterns and seeing the dynamics of growth within life cycles. In this session, it's about observing the obstacles and the time it's taking place. Is it every 3 months, every 6 months, every 3 years? How often are these life cycles and emotional patterns happening, and why is it often repeating? Depending on your awareness and stabilization, you become more available to noticing these cycles. The universe speaks to us in many languages, and part of this is repeating cycles, is speaking the volumes of how it is that we need to get away and improve from these cycles. Awareness and experience and growth points to physical cycles that repeat our detrimental lessons that we need attention to our emotional patterns. Believe it or not, to notice these cycles, you're totally in tune with your present. When you don't notice these cycles, you're in a 3D reality. There's no belief system beyond what it is that you can see. Life scenario changes. We all have to change one way or another. Did you know that as spiritual beings, we go through life cycles in our existence? Each cycle is an awakening cycle to choose our fate or our destiny. When you look at human life as if we live just to die, we go in circles. There's no way out. Almost like you're just stuck in a rut of life. Not too much to offer. You're just a physical entity. So here's the thing. Mental and emotional status can continue to grow, or you can go in circles and cycles. In these stages of life, we either go in circles or cycles, or we go nowhere. I hear so many women say, I just wasted my time, and I went through this and that, from the same relationship. Like I was one of those women here. It took for me to be shaken to my core to be awakened. The situation surrounding you is more about your mental and emotional state than it is about the person that caused the emotional reaction. Your emotional state goes through the same cycle. Let's change perspective for a minute. Rather than looking at it as a repeat pattern, look at it as an imbalance in the situation of a possibility for change. You can't change a set process. Like so many things, you have to come to accept for what it is, and you have to accept the things that you cannot change and have the courage to change for the better. Just as the moon turns in cycles, the sun, everything is in a cycle. If you don't stand up in a sense of direction and level up to the awareness that builds determination and purpose, you will naturally become a part of these cycles. Be open and available to these cycles. These cycles can be a bondage or transcendence from one cycle to another cycle of life. You either transcend or you repeat that cycle. A lesson taught, a lesson learned. If you don't repeat it, trust me, the universe is in the business of teaching lessons. It has time. In this new age of finding meaning to our purpose, many are gravitating to astrology and or spirituality. On one end, astrology teaches us how these cycles bind us. And then you have spirituality, which teaches us and then you have spirituality, which teaches you the process of teaching us how to grow and get away from these cycles. To deny the repeat patterns of the cycle is only limiting your process of growth. Be conscious of these cycles, for they bring opportunities, and the possibilities would help you to notice some changes, maybe in a certain level of success, prosperity, and even when you break these cycles and constantly looking to escape these cycles, not run away from these cycles, you actually seek liberation. But exactly what is it that you're trying to manifest from these cycles? Because there's levels to these cycles. So there's a real awareness that we need to have an understanding of. What is it that you want out of this? Your cycle and emotional experiences are speaking of changing the patterns in time. Just think, how often are these cycles repeating? Does it happen every 3 months, every 9 months, every year, every 3 years? Part of your inner work is developed in the self-awareness, and most times we place barriers that hinder our growth due to the fear of repeating experiences, situation, and patterns. But most cannot identify the beginning of this pattern. When you are reflecting, thinking, notice these patterns, get familiar with them, identify the feeling that comes from them, and accept it for what it is, because it's happening within. And if it's happening within, it's happening around you. Ride these cycles with no fear and allow your humanity to blossom, for it's in your nature. I look forward to speaking with you on the next channel in the session. Until then, you dynamic souls continue to be amazing.